Welcome back to another magical episode of Buddies on Buddies, the show with two real life buddies talking about buddy action comedy movies. I'm Kenny Lane.
I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Lucas is in a great mood tonight. It's got the holiday spirit. What were you saying about how you're so frustrated?
No, I'm not frustrated. I'm great. This is
No?
fun. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we're both in a great mood. We're both jolly as can be. A couple of jolly guys here on getting close to Christmas Eve. Not quite there, but getting there. You psyched this year for Christmas?
Never been less psyched.
Never been less psyched. No psych at
Yeah.
all.
No, we were
Well, who
traveling.
put the crap in your pudding there?
We moved. Everything's in fluctuation. Is that the word? In flux. So there's no like, oh, finally something to look forward to. I'm looking forward to nothing. So to have more shit to do is no good for Lucas. No good at all.
Just looking forward to the sweet release of death at this point.
I hear it's a deep, deep, peaceful thing.
Yeah.
I used to fear death. But I read a lot about great way to start the episode, by the way.
Yeah.
But people who die and get brought back to life are like, I was having the most peaceful experience. I was in this deep, deep, dark, peaceful sleep, and I get ripped back into life, clinging to life, and I was really annoyed. Great to see my family and friends again, and that's why I'm staying alive, but I want to go back to that place. That's really helped me not fear death.
That's good. You should write like a "It's a Wonderful Life" in reverse about just death is the way to go, and don't even worry about like all the hassles of life, and just it's the better option on the holidays.
It's like my self-help book, Death Ain't So Bad by Lucas Hill.
Death, my way.
Pull the Trigger by Lucas Hill.
Yeah, good stuff. Good holiday cheer at the top of the episode here.
Well, it's a popular time for suicide. So if you're thinking of suicide, do something fun first.
Yeah.
Not like a shooting spree. Like go on a roller coaster or skydive or something.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to go on a shooting spree, start with yourself. That's my holiday motto.
I like that. I like that name for your book too.
Yeah, we can both write great self-help, holiday books here.
I don't see why we don't. Kenny, last time I talked to you, you had COVID.
Yeah.
Literally, my wife had just gotten COVID, and then the next day I tested positive. So I've been quarantined in COVID. So if my bad suicidal humor is coming.
Isn't cockling the old spirit or whatever. Yeah, no, I probably where I was last week, and I was pretty fucking miserable. I didn't leave the house for like 5 days, and it really sucked. And so yes, you probably were about that range right now.
Well, I'm barely sick at all. I just can't leave the house, so I'm just more frustrated than anything. I don't want to get anybody else sick. Just because I didn't get that sick. My wife got a little more sick. I don't want to get someone else sick that ends up dying because of it, because it can happen, but it's very frustrating. I did a lot of mental gymnastics.
I want to go to the strip. I want to go to the strip club, so I'm going to the strip club if I got COVID or not. Fuck it.
Oh, I had a tea time for Sunday, and I was doing all sort of mental gymnastics. Like I tested positive. Like, well, it's been a few days. Blah blah blah. Like, yeah, you can't, Lucas. You just can't. Could you imagine walking up to like your new playing partners, like, "Oh yeah, stay away. I have COVID." I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing out here then?"
Well, you're outside. I mean, you can golf during COVID because you're outside and you're 6 feet apart. Sometimes you don't share a golf cart, share fucking joints and shit.
Sure, but it's just not very nice, is what I would say. It's kind of like,
hey, I'm not a nice guy. Look at me. Do I look like a nice guy to you?
Actually, no.
Yeah. I get that a lot. Yeah.
How are you? Your COVID thing is over?
Basically over. Yeah. I mean, I went back to work yesterday. So, it's over. Like it didn't rock me like the first time I got COVID. This was I just kind of felt kind of crappy, but I feel like COVID's such a boring topic now. It's like, that's so 2020. Who gives a fuck about COVID?
yeah, it's hard because it's not as bad as it was, blah blah blah. But even if I had the flu, I wouldn't want someone to come out to play golf and go, "Oh no, I have the flu." You know, like then stay the fuck home. You know, it's just
I don't
kind of
know.
how I view it.
Well, if you're going to be like meeting somebody up in a cafe or something inside, you're going to be sitting right across from them or something. Then yeah, that'd be bad. But I don't know. Golf is like was like the one that was really popular during like the pandemic because it's one of the things you actually could do.
Yeah, that's when I took it up.
Mhm.
Anyway, enough of this fucking liberal bullshit talk. We all know COVID's not real. How are you outside of COVID? What's life been like?
Life's all right. Just chugging along here, doing the same old, just wondering what it's all about. So now we're getting so dark immediately. Like, what is with this shit? Like,
All I did was ask you how you're doing.
well, it triggered me hardcore. I didn't appreciate that on a line of grilling.
I've just been wandering the streets, wondering what it's all about,
Uh, Walking across a bridge, looking at the water, thinking how cold it would be if I dove in.
All right. Multiple suicide jokes right off the bat. I've been doing well. Thanks for asking. Really frustrated
Well,
about
you had
being,
COVID. I know. I figured how
yeah.
you were doing.
Yeah. So what movie are we doing? Buddies on buddies. Buddies watching movies.
And we want to do a Christmas themed one this week for the old jolly old Christmas time. We got the 2005 movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, written and directed by Shane Black and starring Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer.
And before we get to that, where did you get that outfit?
I got this from the 99-cent store in LA about 7 years ago, and I've had it ever since.
And it cost $1?
I think it did cost $1. Yeah, I try to show the whole thing, but the not even boots, they're just like things you pull over your black shoes, and this material, it's like almost like cardboard or something. It's really thin, but it's come in a few holiday parties, and it's come in handy.
Cool.
Yeah, real cool. Hey,
Sorry, you're a little
Lucas, is there
choppy.
anything you saw besides the movie we're covering this week?
Yeah, let me look at my phone. I always forget things. I liked Payback.
Oh,
Payback,
the Mel
the
Gibson
Mel
movie.
Gibson. Yeah, I watched the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of interested in the director's cut. But regardless, the theatrical cut is a really tight, fun movie. I don't know why it didn't do better with the critics. Like
Mhm.
critics panned it, but it's a really tight, fun, like 90+ minute movie. Like, highly suggest it.
Oh yeah, I think it's a real underrated movie. And Mel Gibson's like action movie things. I have seen the original. I've seen the original with like but I've seen the director's cut too. And actually, I think the theatrical release is better than the director's cut.
Yeah, people give a lot of shit to studios for interfering and stuff, but a lot of times it works out. And you don't always hear about it, but a lot of times they save movies, so to speak, because
Yeah, and this isn't like little tweaks here and there. This is like whole sections gone and like big characters not even in the movie anymore that they added. So it's not like one
yeah.
of those like, oh, they just added a little more of this fight sequence or a little more of that. It's like they reshot a lot of it.
Well, Chris Christopherson, who we all love,
Mhm.
is the big bad. He's not even in the fucking original, you know.
No,
So the
and it like
studio
all
came
ties together
in.
nicely in the original. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it all works out really well. Talk to Me. Have you watched that?
No, what's that?
It's a horror movie this year that got a lot of attention. Really cool
Oh yeah,
concept. Highly suggest. I don't even want to tell you the concept because I went in blind. And
you went blind.
once the concept was introduced, I was like, oh, that's pretty very entertaining.
Mhm.
Some people told me like, no, it's genuinely scary. I wasn't genuinely scared at all, but I
Yeah,
enjoyed the concept and thought it was a cool movie. So I'd suggest
nice.
it. Yeah.
I'll check that one out. I saw Wonka at the theater.
Oh yeah. What'd you think of Wonka?
It's fine. It's fine. It's a kids movie. It's a family movie. Nothing really terrible about it. I didn't hate it. It's one of those like, why bother? It's an IP movie. There's nothing really very interesting or good, neat about it. I mean, it doesn't really bring back like memories of the original. Like the original had a kind of a weird, trippy, kind of menacing edge to it a little bit. Whereas this one, I don't think really had anything other than just a nice movie for families with some songs. And who cares? I feel like it had probably had like 20 writers, 30 producers. It was one of those big studio, instantly forgettable things.
I was curious about it. Well, first I thought it was ridiculous when I saw it. Like, why are they doing this again? It didn't work. It's not going to work. But then it
Yeah.
was the Paddington director. Did you like the Paddington movies?
It
One
was the
and
what?
two?
Sorry, you cut out.
Paddington director.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the Paddington movies.
Okay, well they're great. I think they're fantastic. So that made me like, well, now I kind of want to watch it to see if they can. And the reviews have been pretty solid, yours notwithstanding. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and Timothy Chalamet or whatever his name is, like he just plays Wonka as this just really nice guy, and like Gene
Wilder.
Wilder had a little kind of like a little menace to him. You didn't know what the fuck this guy's deal was. He's gonna like kill you, or is he gonna give you all the chocolate in the world? And there's none of that with this movie at all. There's no.
Well, I'll wait until home video.
Yeah, you can wait
Yeah.
longer too than that. You can just wait forever. It's not worth it.
It's gonna make a lot of money, I think, though.
Probably there's not much competition. I don't think this year.
No, I doubt Aquaman's gonna do big business. It might be fine
Yeah.
internationally, but I doubt it's gonna do a lot domestically.
I think it's going to be like the Marvels. Like Captain Marvel did really well, and then but no one. I don't know who's excited about Aquaman 2, but yeah, I didn't think the first one was very good, so I don't know.
Yeah. But who knows? People are always surprising me.
Yeah.
You know.
Ah!
Got me again.
Yeah.
Crazy little Santa. So is that like a Santa outfit? Or is it like Santa's helper that's not an elf? Kind of like Santa's
Santa
captain?
outfit. Don't the elves usually wear green or something like that?
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like a full-blown Santa outfit. Like one of his
Are you criticizing my 99-cent store Santa outfit?
Kenny, I would never.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
All right, before we get started on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I rewatched randomly an old episode of ours. I think it was Lethal Weapon. And you went on a rant about how video games are for children and men who play video games, or adult people who play video games, are wrong.
I didn't say that. I said some people say that.
No.
And I remember you got very triggered by that comment.
I'm just curious, like, do you think that there's no merit to video games as a piece of culture in our society?
Oh, I think they've got a lot of merit. I think they're probably better than every art form there is. I think that most guys that spend all their time playing video games are doing a lot of good for society and for themselves. And I think
I think you turned off on mine. Kenny, you're frozen up, Kenny. I don't know if it's me or if it's you, but you're frozen up. Oh, this is the fun of it. This is the fun of it. Frozen dead ass Kenny. Now I have to carry the dead air. That's all right. There you are.
Back. Yeah, what happened there? We got disconnected. Yeah, I was just sitting here talking, and then you froze, and then you grabbed something, and then we were cut off.
Okay, well, I wasn't disconnecting you. There was no bit here. I thought you were done. I thought the episode was over. But I'm glad you're back, and we will see what recorded and what happened. I was not doing anything. Anyway, as you were saying, video games are for upstanding citizens or whatever bullshit, sarcasm, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think. Well, well, I'd like to hear your thoughts since I talked so long last time. What do you think? Why are video games such a good thing for society, Lucas?
not saying they're a good thing for society, but I think like it's like TV, music, movies, video game plays. Like video games are up there. They're in the Mount Rushmore of important things. Look, you can have smell all you want, like you're this big manly man, like you know how to use half those tools behind you, which you don't.
Ooh, shots fired. Watch out. I don't have to say anything for Lucas to get all triggered and on the offense,
No, I was rewatching the video and I was like, hey, fuck him. I was getting all mad.
Yeah. Well, see, I believe Lucas and some other urban guys think masculine, think video game playing is a masculine thing. Like it's
urban
like I'm a
guys?
big
What does
guy
that
because I
mean?
shot a bunch of guys in Halo.
Hold on.
Really? Okay.
Urban
I
guys.
play Madden, and now I'm basically a football player. No, you're not. No, you're not.
What do you mean by urban guys? What does that mean?
Guys that have no hobbies besides playing video games. That's it. They don't go fishing. They don't play golf. They don't do anything besides play video games. And there's a lot of them too, especially in the cities.
All right. Well, first of all, it's hard to fish when you live in a city. It can be difficult to call.
I gotta play video games. That's all I can do.
Look, all I know is that half the people I know, half the men and women I know play video games.
Good.
And there's no difference there's no reason to throw shade. Their brilliance and averageness are about the same.
Are you saying video games are popular? Is that what you're saying? This is mind-blowing to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yes, they are popular, yet you're standing on some kind of like, that's not a man's man thing to do.
I didn't say that. I think video gamers think like yourself think it's a man's thing to do.
No one thinks that. What are you talking about?
That's why you're getting so defensive and saying, you think you're all masculine, I'm not masculine, I'm da, 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 da. It's a lame hobby for adults. Just say it.
You're taking my incredulousness for defensiveness. I just can't believe you would be like so. You sound like a Fox commentator. Is this where you're getting this from? Are you watching Fox News?
I'll take that money. Sure, if they want to throw some of that at me.
Dude, you wear that outfit and you talk shit about video games. You're
Here's a fun fact for you. Washington State actually is the one that has a rehabilitation center just for video game addiction. Actually, the whole building is just for video game addiction. So I don't know why they need a rehabilitation center if it's such a great positive thing. Do they have one for like Netflix watching and shit?
No, and I would actually want to do a little research on that little center and who's going to that. Let me guess, it's not in the
total losers, I think, that play video games all fucking day and have no other interests or hobbies or anything.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a rural area with a bunch of religious quacks throwing their kids in there, thinking it's a fucking issue. That's where it is.
Yeah, I think grown men that just play video games all day will fight me to the death on this, and I think that's fine. I think it's a lame hobby for an adult. I'm not impressed. Is anyone ever impressed when you say, "Hey, can I talk about my stats or my scores on this video game?" No one gives a fuck.
Who do you talk to? First of all, who do you talk to that like? I know tons of people who play video games. We talk about it like we talk about movies. No one goes, "Hey, what are your stats in your video games? How are your stats?" Like, "Oh, have you played that game? Yeah, it's good. Have you seen that? Oh, yeah, a little overrated." Just like movies, you have this weird fucking projection. Maybe because you don't get to play as many video games as you'd like. It's really
there you go. You got to the bottom of it. I can't play video games, so therefore I hate.
I love this. I love how you're pretending you don't love video games and you haven't been a little leech on my side with every time I've gotten a video game console. You'd come over, you'd play it, then I'd give it to you when I was done.
Are you talking about 15,
let's move on to the movie.
You are reaching, man.
No, I haven't even begun to reach.
I've started reaching. Can we make this an annual thing? We should argue about video games every Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang. What's the plot? I'm
not impressed with anyone's video games. I don't give a shit. I mean,
no one's asking you to be impressed. No one's going like, "Hey, look what I did, Kenny." I don't see you.
Oh, you play video games. Wow, I'm really impressed. Cool.
I play video games like 3 times a month, maybe. No one's asking you to be impressed.
Hey, can we talk about the movie finally?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, God.
Plot of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Do you have a PS5? You do, don't you? You sad.
Of course I have. You were over here. Don't like.
Can I talk about the movie? Can I talk about the movie? How many kids did you have to fucking steal from? Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway,
It's all right. No, don't bring up the trafficking thing. It's a little shaky with my lawyers.
can you do the plot of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Yeah, you give us the plot of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Why do I always? Is the plot my thing now? Because I always do the plot.
I usually forget them, and for this one, I'm not doing it. So
You're not doing it. You know, we're going to break it down.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's kind of
Yeah.
your turn.
Okay. An aspiring actor tags along with a PI for a potential role, and they uncover a murderous conspiracy that goes all the way to the top.
Fair enough. That's probably the best that I could do. You know, yeah. This is another one of those plots that's all over the fucking place. Again, like the nice guy is kind of inspired by those really complicated Raymond Chandler, you know, murder mysteries and stuff. But it is one of those I tried to pay attention this time, and I think, like you said, when we were reading Nice Guys, like I don't think as smart as it is, and I think it is a good, smart, you know, Shane Black script. I don't think if you really look at it, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of contrivances and coincidences and shit like that.
Yeah, I just turned off my mind. It was the only way I was going to get through it. Like I don't know what it is with people and filmmakers. I don't mind it because there's been some fantastic films, you
Mhm.
know, some top 100 at least quality
Yeah.
films, like a handful of them that do this. Like, oh, we're doing a noir detective thing. Let's make it so complicated no one knows what the fuck's going on. Even
Yeah.
even after 5 viewings, you may not know what's going on. Like, great, a lot of fun, but and they all want to do it and shit. It's like so weird to me.
Well, I guess it goes all the way back to like the Big Sleep or something. Have you ever watched that Humphrey Bogart movie? That is just a fucking clusterfuck of what the fuck is going on and who wants what, and yeah.
Yeah, so that's my biggest like. I mean, there's a lot more, but what did you think of the movie in general?
In general, well, I really liked it. I think the main thing I like about it is it's constantly subverting the genre, but it's not like postmodernism where that's all it's trying to do. I think it actually wants to do that and work as a buddy action comedy, detective thrill thing at the same time. I think that's really hard to pull off. And I think it does do that. It's constantly, referring to itself and getting back and back to all this shit, but it does somehow land on its feet where I think it is a straight, you see it, you can see it just as a genre entry, I guess, and not just something trying to make fun of it or, like I said, subvert it or whatever.
Yeah, but it was some of that like fourth wall shit really didn't. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I realized like I'm
Yeah.
familiar with it because when it came out, I was like a big fan. Was
I remember you
most
recommending it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was just so funny and like so subversive, as you said. And then rewatching it now, I'm like, I don't like the fourth wall breaks
Yeah.
and like the wink, wink. We're in a movie constantly. Like, it
Yeah.
just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that wink wink stuff. And I thought it worked, it landed on feet, but it didn't work as well with me this time as far as because I think maybe we've seen a lot of that, a lot of like, screenwriters try to be a little too clever for their own good or some shit. And it kind of makes me actually less invested when they do that shit versus
Yeah,
like ingratiates it with me or something.
maybe you're right. Maybe it's just like it's been done so many times, and when this happened, it was kind of like fresh,
Yeah.
like refreshing thing for the writer to be so the choices and everything. But yeah, it did not work for me.
Yeah. But there are some good points to it as far as a Shane Black movie that doesn't have a kid in it for fucking once. Thank God.
Wait into it too. I was
Sorry, you're really cutting out, bud.
I was waiting for
Yeah. Yeah, you're cutting out.
what you want me to do.
There we go. Now you're back.
All right. How we
I think we're good. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll go for
Mm. Nah, it's not I can barely hear you. Yeah, I don't know. we'll all just keep talking, I guess. And if you come back in, we'll see. Or I don't know. What do you want to do? I think this we're already stopped recording once. What do you think?
Just stop it. We've
We
never.
should stop recording. Yeah.
No, we're
No,
good. No.
we're good. Oh, yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Go. Go,
Okay.
Kenny. Go.
Okay. Let's look over some of these notes here.
Uh,
Okay, so like I said, the little kid, no little kid. That's good. Finally did that. I think this might be like Val Kilmer's last like really good character or performance. What do you think?
yeah. Before the cancer got his throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But I had a huge problem with this character. Like, I know it was like, again, fresh at the time and everything,
Mhm.
but like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, especially like this is 2005. It's not like 1983 or something. And like they're all in Hollywood. So them all the people that interact with them, they're like, wow, so you're gay? Like, what is that? Like, that's crazy. Like, you think people in Hollywood would be familiar with gay people by 2005. It wouldn't be just like flabbergasted every time fucking he shows up.
Yeah, 75% of people in Hollywood have sucked a dick. That's just math.
I heard it's four dicks. When you suck the fourth one, that means you're gay. So
Okay, yeah.
I got like two to go.
Yeah, yeah, just all the, and I remember those being so like progressive and forward, is when I originally remember this movie from like back like a year or two after I moved to LA. And I was just like so tired and repetitive and lame and not interesting at all.
Wow, so this viewing, I think it really maybe like went down a bunch, like from the when you saw it, like what 17 years ago, whenever it came out.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. And the way women are treated is just horrific from the start to the finish of this movie. Like Michelle Monaghan's great, but she's like a slut
Yeah,
and treated as such. And then every other woman basically gets murdered.
there's a
Or
really there's a really weird like I guess like belt like a light goes off in Robert De Niro's head when he's staring at her naked in the mirror, and then he remembers like her sister's like I guess like her butt hanging out of when she was a corpse,
yeah,
and then he's like that must be her sister or something, and I thought that didn't land at all. I was like, yikes.
there's a couple scenes where the guy's trying to rape her when she's asleep, and then her nipples out and he's trying to hide it. And then it was actually kind of funny. The spider thing is really fucking weird. Like, do you
Yeah,
remember that when he's trying to put her nipple away and a
yeah.
spider crawls out and he's like
Like,
chasing
I
after
saw
the
the
spider?
spider, I swear. Yeah, but she's like, it's okay. The guy's trying to grab me at the time.
Yeah,
It did
all that
lead
shit
to.
is.
I did like the opening when he talks tough to that guy who's gonna like molest her while she's sleeping at the party, and it just cuts to him just getting his face stomped in. Like that was kind of fun. That worked.
Yeah, that's a cute little turn that you're not expecting.
Yeah,
But overall, like none of the jokes hit for me as well as they did. I remember some of them. I was like, I used to think that was so funny. I used to think
yeah,
that line and shit because I used to love this movie. None of
yeah.
it. I mean, maybe I got older, maybe society got older. I don't know.
Well, the movie didn't change, but you probably changed. That's happened to me before. I'll see movies like 20 years later and be like, "This is great," or "This is fucking terrible." What the fuck kind of crack was I smoking back when I liked it or hated it so much or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's just a product of that for me. Like, it's entertaining. You don't know what's going on. It's endearing. I hate that they pulled the punch with him dying at the end.
Yeah,
Like,
you need to fake out deaths.
I hate fake out that. Fucking kill him or don't. Like,
Yeah,
how much more of an emotional impact would that have been? Like, no, he's dead. You know, the
yeah,
stakes are real in this movie.
yeah.
Or in this world, but nothing means anything. It's all fluff, fucking stupid.
Another big moment that did not land with me at all was that very kind of intense scene where Val Kilmer shows up to beat up her molesting dad at the end, the epilogue. Like, I guess you should have that. So, but also he's an old man. I don't know. It was just like it's played so straight and so serious when everything else about the movie is so kind of wacky and wink wink that I just thought that was out of place.
Yeah,
Good.
couldn't that guy just be dead? Did we really need that scene? We already
No,
like his character. We don't need
right,
that at all. It's fucking
right.
weird.
Yeah, that was strange. yeah, some of the things, and also them being like kids, like they knew each other as children. I thought that was just a big coincidence. I don't know if they even needed that. I guess it just kind of rushes everything along, I guess, while they know each other and stuff. But I thought that was a huge, contrivance.
Didn't serve anything. Didn't serve the story.
Hmm.
Absolutely unnecessary. She says she's going to be an actress or something. That'd be one thing if she was like a big actress, and he has to deal with her celebrity. But none of that comes into fruition. It's just our own fucking bullshit. Like, what are you doing?
Well, you mentioned a couple episodes back where we did Cop and a Half that you had a hard time believing a kid would like idolize cops or be into like really into cop shows, like adult cop shows and stuff. How likely do you think a little girl in the Midwest would be a super fan of like these old Mickey Spillane detective novels and shit? Like that was her whole reason for coming out to LA, I guess, and to meet him. I just thought, like, what little girl is into those kind of like fucking books?
Yeah, I've never met a little girl
Uh huh.
who reads detective novels.
Hard boiled detective novels. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't read too many
It
little
is
boys
very
who
interesting.
do
Yeah.
and I don't even mean in my current age. I mean
What
growing
was
up
that?
and stuff. I don't mean in my current age.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I mean growing up. I don't meet a lot of little boys and little girls anymore.
Right. Well, yeah, I figured that, but I think in general, you can just think like, would a little girl be reading like "I the Jury" or something and be like, "This is the best"? Like,
Yeah, the docks of death.
yeah.
So, how would you? What did you think about their connection? Because I didn't feel like they. It was a. Do you have any more notes? Sorry.
Oh, I'm just kind of looking over them now, but not really. But as far as like the Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. or Michelle Monaghan and Robert Downey Jr.
No, because it's a buddy action. We have to talk about the buddies here, buddy.
I thought the buddies were good. I really liked the Gay Perry character just constantly giving him shit, even though you can see they kind of like each other by the end and stuff. I thought that's some really great bits about like when he's leaning up against his car and he's like, "I'm sorry, I gotta go. Like I gotta go get off my fucking car," and like they had a lot of funny little banter and bits and stuff. I thought it had a good dynamic. What do you think?
Uh, I liked when he threw his gun in the pond. You know,
Hmm.
in a panic. Why'd you throw my gun in the pond next to the murdered person? Like
Yeah. What happens when they drag the lake? Yeah.
no, they had a good chemistry. I just didn't think the movie focused enough. This is more of a trifecta than a buddy. You know,
It is. It is a little bit. I mean, they're on. I think it counts because they're on the poster. It is a buddy action comedy, but it definitely is a more trifecta.
yeah. So in that regard, it's hard to. I don't know. And I don't know. It's tough because there's like so much good things. The performances are great. The chemistry is great between all
Yeah,
three leads and
not
everything.
boring.
Not boring, but there's just something about it that I like less than I was expecting because I remember loving this movie so much.
Yeah, and like the Nice Guys and stuff has a big cult following now. And this is definitely you can definitely know it's the same guy that did both
Oh
movies and
yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I guess I didn't like it as much as I did when I first saw it. I think, and some of the stuff didn't really work for me this time. I still think it's a good movie, and I still think especially like the alternative Christmas movies, and people always say like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Gremlins, like those kind of things. I think it's definitely worth like putting in like people that like to watch like these kind of not traditional Christmas movies.
And it had the staple torture scene.
Yes, yep. Every Shane Black movie has a staple torture scene. And again, like a lot of bad guys holding guns on somebody, and they all of a sudden they grab another hand or trick them out of it. Like there's a lot of bad guys who just have to pull the trigger, but then just get outsmarted.
And even this one, they like got meta with it. He's talking about it and like how you do that and everything like that. Like
Yeah,
so he like knows what he's doing when he puts all this shit in his movies. He knows he's doing Christmas. He knows he's doing that little gun thing. He knows he's gonna put a torture scene in. Like I don't think it's like accident. Like, oh, did I do that again?
yeah. Well, it's his formula, but yeah. Also, I think at this point he was kind of subverting himself. But that's kind
Yeah,
of the whole movie's constantly doing that.
yeah. And that kind of took me out of the story a couple times. So
Yeah. So, how would you rate Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? Do you have any other notes?
I don't have any other notes. I didn't know what to say about it. There's not too much to say about it. It's a competently made movie. The weaknesses are big but few. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. What would you start? I'd probably give it like a 3.5, like maybe a 4. I mean, I think it's still a pretty good movie. But yeah, I know it didn't quite work for me as well it did last time.
I'd give it a 3-star as a movie because it's, you know, entertaining,
Mhm.
passable entertainment, and you're not going to hurt. And I'd give it probably 2.5 as a buddy movie just because they didn't spend a lot of time as buddies, and there's not a lot of action. So
I mean, it's enough to qualify, but yeah, I mean, there's not. I mean, there's a couple of shootouts. Mostly, it's more of a detective movie than anything, really.
yeah, it's more of a noir detective movie, but it was fine. It was a fine time at the cinemas,
In our living rooms, yeah.
in our living rooms. But I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we got our Christmas episode in. I'm glad you got to wear your expensive Santa Claus
Yeah,
outfit.
I've got my 99 cents out of this fucking thing for sure.
What are we doing next episode? I think we should do. I think we should do the. Didn't you say we had a commenter suggest
Hmm.
something? We should do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. We should do the 19, I think it's 74 movie Busting with Elliot Gould and Robert Blake, actually, because we like to
Wow,
throw in horrible people into our buddies' our buddies' movies sometimes.
sounds hilarious. I do love Elliot Gould.
Hmm.
So we'll probably do that in the new year. I'm glad we got this one out for Christmas. Um, sorry. And what were you don't like video? Let's go back to video games real quick. Let's just
Sure.
kind of book in this a little
Hmm.
bit. Why do you think it's not a feasible hobby
Anyone
for
that likes video games can suck my fucking dick.
okay, well, thanks for watching Buddies on Buddies, guys. We'll end it here. Have a great time and
If
holidays.
you're an adult and you get video games for Christmas, fuck you.
All right. I'm Lucas Suthouse, Kenny Lane.
Fucking
Have a great
losers.
night
Fucking lame ass.
and
You
have a
think you're a man? You're not a man for playing fucking Madden. The fuck is your
happy new
problem?
happy new year.